Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Red 5 Reviews. Today we're going to continue our reviews for the Darth Bane trilogy with book 2 in the trilogy, Rule of Two, again written by New York Times bestselling author Drew Karpyshyn. Now, this will be a spoiler-free review, but just a heads up, there may be spoilers for the previous book, Path of Destruction. But with that said, guys, let's do this. Darth Bane Rule of Two was published originally in 2008 and takes place during the Old Republic era, roughly 1,000 years before the Battle of Yavin. After successfully defeating the Brotherhood of Darkness, the Sith are believed to have been vanquished. But the Dark Lord himself, Darth Bane, has officially re-established the Sith under the Rule of Two. One master and one apprentice. One to embody the power, the other to crave it. Bane has taken an apprentice named Darth Zana. And after Bane is researching a tomb of an ancient Sith Lord, he becomes attached to creatures known as obelisks that feed on the dark side. Years pass, and Zana is now a grown woman and has grown more powerful in the dark side, but her devotion to the Sith and her master is tested as she encounters a figure from her past. And meanwhile, a figure from Bane's past, a Jedi named Johan Othone, whose master was killed by Darth Bane, seeks to prove to the Jedi Council of the Sith's existence and put a stop to Darth Bane. Just like its predecessor, this is a book that I absolutely recommend that you pick up. The story is great, and I always appreciate Drew Karpyshyn's characterization. As most of the story revolves around both Bane and Zana, you find yourself, or at least in my case, wanting to root for both characters in their quest for more power and knowledge of the dark side, even though it may lead to the downfall of one or the other. The pacing was really good for the most part. The main story and all the subplots flowed together very well, and it didn't feel too rushed or too slow. My one issue is there was a 10-year time jump near the beginning of the story that I thought was a little awkward, but other than that, I had no issue with the pacing. I always enjoy reading about the Sith and their ideology, and I like how even though Bane is the Dark Lord of the Sith, he still craves more power and knowledge, and I appreciate that even as powerful as he does struggle sometimes, as we see him try to construct a Sith holocron a few times with almost no success. And honestly, I always find it odd but intriguing that the Sith Master will teach their apprentice almost everything they know so that they can use their knowledge and power in the dark side against them one day. It's crazy but very compelling, and I think it makes for a great story. Now, regarding the concept of the obelisk, honestly, for the most part, I was pretty neutral about them. They kind of reminded me a bit of the black symbiote suit from Spider-Man, as both attach to their host and give them power, and both at one point become difficult to remove. Rule of Two is exciting, dark, and suspenseful. And again, if you haven't already, I would definitely start reading this one, but would highly recommend you start with the first book in the trilogy, Path of Destruction. This one also got an Essential Legends reprint, as with the other books in the Darth Bane trilogy almost a year ago, and there's also an unabridged audiobook that's narrated very well, I might add, by Jonathan Davis. Now, regarding this particular edition, if there's one thing I would say about this book I'm not a fan of, it's the front cover. Mostly just because I feel it's out of place compared to the other two. I know it was done by a different artist, and it's not bad illustration or anything. It's just when I see it, I get the impression that I'm looking at PlayStation 1 graphics. I just wish that they used the same illustration style as the other covers in the trilogy. But I'm going to give Darth Bane Rule of Two 4.5 out of 5 stars. But what did you guys think? Did you like it or hate it? I would like to know your thoughts either way, so please be sure to post them down in the comments below. But thanks so much for checking out this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful, and be sure to stay tuned for my review for the last book in this trilogy, Dynasty of Evil, coming very soon. But until then, this is Red 5, standing by.